Welcome to this guide designed to help you develop your inner strength and confidence without needing to impose your will on others. Here you'll learn to take control of your emotions, improve your habits, and consistently strengthen your mind. Each chapter offers clear advice that you can apply to your daily life starting today. You'll discover how your quiet decisions and actions can generate respect, stability, and positive energy around you. This book isn't just about theory, it's about practical tools for daily growth. As you progress, you'll feel your presence become more confident and how your life begins to reflect your discipline and purpose. You're about to embark on a journey that transforms the way you think, act, and relate to others. Each lesson is designed to help you build a more balanced, strong, and authentic life. On Chapter 1, build inner calm and project a strong, confident presence. Most people believe that true attraction comes from noise. They believe that to be respected, they must speak louder, show more, prove more, compete more. However, when you observe closely the people who truly exude strength, stability, and respect, you discover something different. They don't need to raise their voices. They don't need to draw attention to themselves. They don't need to constantly prove their worth. Their presence is felt before they even speak. There is a quiet quality that commands respect. It is not arrogance. It is not coldness. It is inner calm. When a person develops inner calm, their gait changes, their gaze becomes clear, their words become precise, and their energy conveys stability. People sense this stability even without understanding why. Inner peace doesn't appear by chance. It is built. It is practiced. It is strengthened every day. A calm mind doesn't mean a life without problems. It means that even in the midst of problems, a person maintains control over themselves. That ability becomes a source of quiet power. Many people live their lives reacting. They react to criticism. They react to comments. They react to mistakes. They react to stress. Every reaction drains energy. Every reaction weakens their personal presence. Inner peace begins when a person decides that not everything deserves a reaction. When someone learns to observe before responding, something changes within their character. The mind stops moving chaotically and begins to move with direction. One imagines someone walking into a room filled with conversation, noise, and opinions. Some people try to dominate the conversation by talking nonstop. Others constantly seek approval, but there is someone who simply observes, listens, analyzes. When they finally speak, their words are clear and direct. People listen because they feel their words carry weight. That weight comes from calm. The first practice for building inner calm is learning to create space between stimulus and response. Throughout the day, many small situations occur that test your balance. A negative comment, a mistake at work, an unexpected delay, a problem that wasn't in your plans. Most people react within seconds. They respond with frustration, anger, or anxiety. But a disciplined mind does something different. He pauses. That pause is brief. So perhaps a few seconds. But in those seconds, something powerful happens. The mind stops reacting and begins to choose. Take a deep breath. Observe the situation. Silently ask yourself what answer truly helps you move forward. That small moment completely changes the outcome. Practicing this pause every day strengthens emotional control. It doesn't eliminate problems, but it eliminates impulsive reactions that worsen them. Another fundamental practice for building inner calm is training the mind to focus on what is under control. Many people waste energy thinking about things they can't change. They dwell on other people's opinions. They think about past events. They think about outcomes that don't yet exist. The mind becomes filled with noise. A person with a strong presence directs their attention to three simple things: his thoughts, his actions, their decisions. Everything else is beyond his control. When someone criticizes unfairly, they don't focus on changing that person's mind. They focus on maintaining their own dignified behavior. When an unexpected problem occurs, he doesn't get lost in complaining. He focuses on finding the next helpful action. When results are slow in coming, she doesn't waste energy on anxiety. She focuses on improving the process. This approach creates mental stability. Mental stability creates presence. Silent presence commands respect. There is another important element in inner peace: the relationship with silence. Many people feel uncomfortable when there is no noise. They seek constant distractions. Music all the time, screens all the time, unnecessary conversations all the time. But silence is the place where the mind finds order. Spending a few minutes each day in silence allows thoughts to settle. It allows you to observe worries that are usually hidden beneath the noise. A simple practice can transform this process. Every morning or every night, sit for 5 minutes without distractions. No phone, no music, no conversation. Just breathe calmly. Observe the thoughts that arise. Don't try to stop them. Just watch them. At first, your mind may feel restless. This is normal. Over time, your mind will become clearer. That small exercise strengthens emotional stability. Another powerful practice is to reduce the need to constantly prove your worth. Many people feel pressure to prove they are intelligent, capable, or important. They talk too much to show off their knowledge. They argue to win arguments. And they constantly compare themselves to others. This behavior creates internal noise. The person who cultivates inner peace understands something simple. True worth doesn't need to be proven every minute. When someone is confident in their character, they can listen without interrupting. They can accept that another person has a different opinion without feeling attacked. They can remain silent without feeling invisible. This quiet security creates a presence that people immediately perceive. It doesn't come from the ego. It comes from self-control. Inner peace is also strengthened when a person organizes their life with intention. External disorder often reflects internal disorder. When the environment is full of chaos, the mind also becomes scattered. That's why it's useful to create small structures in daily life. A basic schedule, an organized space, clear moments for work, rest, and reflection. These small decisions reduce mental friction. A less saturated mind has more room for calm. The body also plays an important role in personal presence. When a person moves with constant haste, breathes shallowly, and maintains tension in their shoulders, their energy transmits anxiety. When the body moves with control, the energy changes. Walk with firm and calm steps. Take several deep breaths throughout the day. Relax your shoulders and maintain a stable posture. These details may seem small, but they have a strong impact. The body sends signals to the mind, and the mind sends signals to the body. When both align, personal presence is strengthened. There is also a mental habit that destroys inner peace, the need to react to everything. Not all opinions deserve a response. Not all provocations deserve energy. Not all discussions deserve participation. A wise person learns to choose their battles. This doesn't mean avoiding responsibilities. It means protecting mental energy. When someone tries to provoke a reaction, the most powerful response is often calmness. Calmness demonstrates control. Control demonstrates strength. People respect those who do not give in to provocation. Another fundamental aspect of inner peace is the relationship with mistakes. Many people lose their emotional stability when they make a mistake. They criticize themselves harshly. They are filled with shame. They allow a negative moment to define their state of mind. But making mistakes is a natural part of growing up. A disciplined mind analyzes the error objectively. First, acknowledge what happened, then look for the lesson. Finally, decide on the next step. This process eliminates unnecessary drama. Every mistake becomes useful information. Each lesson strengthens character. Over time, this mindset creates resilience. Resilience is one of the pillars of a strong presence. People feel safe around someone who maintains stability even when things go wrong. It is also important to speak clearly when necessary. Inner peace doesn't mean remaining silent all the time. It means choosing the right moment to speak. When that moment arrives, the words must be simple, direct, and firm. A person with a strong presence doesn't need lengthy explanations to defend their values. They can express their position respectfully and calmly. Calm words carry more weight than impulsive words. Confidence is conveyed through tone, posture, and serenity. Another useful practice is to slow down impulsive decisions. Many people make quick decisions based on momentary emotion. Then they spend weeks trying to correct the consequences. Inner calm allows you to observe before deciding. Ask if the decision brings you closer to or further from the goal. Ask yourself if the emotion of the moment is clouding your judgment. Ask if the action actually improves the situation. This small process avoids many unnecessary problems. Patience is also part of inner peace. Real progress rarely happens immediately. Skills take time. Projects take time. Earning respect from others takes time. An impatient mind lives in constant frustration. A patient mind focuses on the process. Every day becomes an opportunity to improve a little more. And this approach eliminates anxiety about immediate results. When someone observes a person who works consistently and calmly for months or years, they perceive something special. He perceives discipline. He perceives stability, perceive character. All those qualities build a silent presence. It is also important to be mindful of our inner thoughts. Many people maintain an internal dialogue full of criticism and negativity. They say they're not enough, that they can't, that they always fail. That kind of thinking weakens the mind. Inner calm is strengthened when internal dialogue becomes more conscious. Instead of attacking one's own mistakes, one analyzes them. Instead of anticipating failure, he focuses on action. Instead of exaggerating the problems, solutions are sought. This mental shift transforms personal energy. Finally, inner peace is consolidated when a person defines their principles. Principles function like a compass. When a decision arises, principles help in choosing. When external pressure attempts to change behavior, principles maintain direction. When a person lives according to clear principles, the mind becomes calmer. It does not need to adapt to every external opinion. You don't need to act inconsistently to please everyone. Consistency creates stability. Stability creates respect. Inner peace is not a talent reserved for a select few. It is a skill that develops with daily practice. Every moment offers an opportunity to strengthen it. When a provocation appears, practice pausing. When a worry arises, focus your attention on what is under your control. When external noise appears, look for moments of silence. And when an error appears, look for the lesson. Over time, these small habits become part of one's character. People begin to notice something different. They notice that your presence conveys confidence. They notice that your words carry weight. They notice that you don't react impulsively. They notice that you maintain stability even when others lose control. That kind of presence doesn't need to seek attention. Attention comes on its own. Not because the person is pursuing it, but because inner calm creates an energy that naturally attracts respect. A life guided by this calm becomes clearer. Decisions become firmer. Relationships become more authentic. Progress becomes more consistent. Building inner calm is one of the most powerful acts of personal growth. It does not require external recognition. It does not require constant approval. It only requires internal discipline. Every day offers an opportunity to practice. Each conscious breath strengthens the mind. Every controlled reaction strengthens character. Every moment of silence strengthens clarity. Over time, this practice creates a presence that is not dependent on the noise of the world. A strong presence, a stable presence, a quietly attractive presence. And when a person reaches that state, they discover something important. True strength never needed to make noise to exist. Chapter 2. Master your emotions to create a stable mind. Emotions are part of every moment of human life. They arise when something makes us happy, when something worries us, when someone criticizes us, or when something doesn't go as planned. They are not enemies, so they shouldn't be eliminated. However, when a person lives ruled by them, they lose mental clarity and direction. A mind that constantly changes according to emotional state becomes unstable. And when the mind is unstable, so are the decisions. True personal strength emerges when a person learns to manage their emotions instead of being controlled by them. This mastery doesn't mean becoming cold or insensitive. It means maintaining inner balance even when the environment changes. It means thinking clearly in moments when others lose control. Intense emotions can be like waves in the sea. Some come gently and disappear quickly. Others arrive with force and seem to engulf everything. If a person tries to fight each wave, they will end up exhausted. But if they learn to stand firm and let the wave pass, they discover that the sea always returns to calm. Mastering your emotions begins with something simple yet powerful, acknowledging what you're feeling without denying or exaggerating it. Many people try to ignore their feelings. They tell themselves they shouldn't be angry, nervous, or frustrated. However, suppressing an emotion only allows it to fester. The stable mind observes first. It identifies the feeling without judgment. It can say internally that there is anger, worry, or discomfort. This recognition creates distance between the emotion and the reaction. In that small space arises the possibility of choosing how to act. When someone masters this first step, they cease to be a prisoner of immediate impulses. Emotion may still exist, but action is no longer determined by it. Another important skill is understanding that emotions don't always reflect the whole picture. Often they are quick responses built on old mental habits. A small criticism can feel like a huge attack. A minor delay can feel like a disaster. A casual comment can create unnecessary insecurity. A stable mind learns to question these automatic interpretations. Before reacting, it observes the situation more broadly. It asks whether the emotional reaction is magnifying the problem or if the problem is truly as big as it seems. This simple mental exercise reduces a lot of unnecessary stress. Many situations that seem urgent or threatening lose their intensity when examined calmly. It's also important to understand that every emotion has a limited duration. No emotion lasts forever. Even the most intense ones diminish over time. When a person remembers this, they become more patient in the face of difficult times. Instead of reacting immediately, let the moment pass. Breathe calmly. Allow the intensity to subside. Many poor decisions arise when someone acts while emotions are at their peak. Waiting a little while changes the situation. What seemed like an emergency becomes a manageable situation. The body also plays a direct role in emotional regulation. When the mind becomes tense, the body responds immediately. Breathing becomes rapid, muscles tense, movements accelerate. Changing the state of the body can change the state of the mind. Breathing slowly and deeply for a few minutes reduces emotional intensity. Walking for a few minutes helps release accumulated tension. Consciously relaxing the shoulders and jaw sends calming signals to the nervous system. So, these small physical adjustments create space to think more clearly. Another important element in mastering emotions is learning not to take everything personally. Many emotional reactions stem from interpreting others' behavior as direct attacks. However, many people act based on their own problems, worries, or insecurities. When someone speaks harshly, they are often reflecting their own inner frustration. When someone criticizes aggressively, they may be projecting their own difficulties. A stable mind recognizes this possibility. Instead of reacting immediately with anger, it observes the behavior with detachment. This perspective protects inner peace. It doesn't mean accepting disrespect. It means not allowing the behavior of others to control your own emotional state. A person who controls their emotions conserves their energy for what really matters. Emotional discipline also requires accepting that some situations will be beyond your control. There will be times when plans fall through. There will be unexpected losses. There will be injustices that cannot be immediately changed. Mentally fighting against every out-of-control event leads to constant frustration. A stable mind learns to separate what can be changed from what cannot. When something is within your personal control, act decisively. When something is beyond your control, accept reality without wasting energy on futile resistance. This attitude does not mean resignation. It means emotional intelligence. Mental stability is also strengthened by reducing dependence on external approval. Many people experience intense emotions because they constantly seek validation from others. When they receive praise, they feel strong. When they receive criticism, they feel weakened. This dependency creates an emotional roller coaster. A steadfast mind develops its own internal standard. It evaluates its actions according to personal principles, not according to shifting opinions. When someone knows they have acted with honesty, discipline, and respect, external criticism loses much of its impact. Stability stems from knowing who you are and what values guide your decisions. It's also helpful to remember that emotions can become teachers when observed carefully. Each emotion contains information about thoughts, expectations, and perceptions. Frustration can reveal unrealistic expectations. Sure, anxiety can show anticipated worries about the future. Anger can signal personal boundaries that need to be clearly expressed. When a person calmly examines these signs, they learn more about their own mental functioning. This knowledge allows for adjusting habits and improving future responses. Daily practice strengthens this skill. It doesn't develop overnight. Every interaction offers an opportunity to improve. When unexpected criticism arises, you can practice listening before responding. When a frustrating situation arises, you can practice breathing before acting. When a strong emotion arises, you can observe it without reacting immediately. Over time, these small practices create a stronger mind. Emotional stability also relies on an organized and disciplined life. Adequate rest, regular exercise, and a balanced routine directly influence emotional well-being. An exhausted or overworked body reduces the capacity for self-control. A rested mind responds with greater clarity and patience. For this reason, taking care of physical energy is not just a matter of health. It is also a tool for maintaining emotional balance. Another important practice is to avoid feeding unnecessary negative thoughts. The mind can amplify emotions when it constantly repeats worrying ideas or internal criticisms. Mentally replaying a past argument or anticipating negative future scenarios increases emotional intensity. A stable mind learns to redirect attention toward useful actions in the present. Instead of getting stuck in repetitive thoughts, she focuses on the next task, the next step, or the next possible improvement. When this change reduces the emotional burden and restores a sense of control. Conscious communication also contributes to emotional mastery. When a person expresses their thoughts calmly and clearly, they avoid internal buildups of resentment or frustration. Speaking respectfully, even when setting boundaries, allows you to resolve conflicts without escalating tension. A calm voice conveys confidence and control. People tend to respond better to someone who remains calm, even in difficult conversations. It's also important to remember that no one is in perfect control all the time. There will be times when emotions overwhelm our composure. This is a natural part of the human experience. The difference between an unstable mind and a disciplined mind lies in the ability to recover quickly. When an impulsive reaction occurs, a conscious person reflects on what happened. They analyze what triggered the reaction and how they might respond better next time. This process transforms mistakes into learning opportunities. Each experience becomes training to strengthen self-control. Over time, the mind develops a solid foundation. Emotions continue to exist, but they no longer dominate every decision. The person becomes more patient in the face of challenges, clearer in their thinking, and more resolute in their actions. This inner stability inspires confidence both in oneself and in those who observe. People can tell when someone remains calm in difficult times. Calmness conveys security. Confidence conveys leadership. Emotional stability becomes one of the most valuable qualities a person can develop. Mastering emotions doesn't mean eliminating human sensitivity. It means learning to direct emotional energy toward constructive actions. It means transforming momentary impulses into conscious decisions. Each day offers new opportunities to strengthen this skill. Every difficult situation can be turned into practice. Every moment of tension can become an exercise in self-control. With patience and discipline, the mind becomes clearer, firmer, and calmer. And when a person achieves that inner balance, they discover something important. True freedom does not consist of controlling the external world. It consists of mastering one's own inner world. A stable mind becomes a solid foundation upon which to build wise decisions, healthy relationships, and steady progress throughout life. Chapter 3. Develop daily discipline that strengthens your quiet character. Daily discipline is one of the quietest and most transformative forces a person can cultivate. It makes no noise. It doesn't seek immediate recognition. It doesn't need applause. Yet over time, it shapes character with extraordinary precision. Every small decision made consistently strengthens an internal structure that others can perceive even without words. Many people want to change their lives, improve their habits, or achieve important goals, but they wait for constant motivation to begin. This approach creates an unstable cycle. Motivation appears some days and disappears on others. When motivation fades, action stops as well. Discipline works differently. It doesn't depend on your emotional state at the moment. It depends on a conscious decision that is repeated every day. A quiet character is formed when a person chooses to act rightly, even when no one is watching. This consistency creates a foundation of self-respect. When someone knows they are keeping their personal commitments, their mind becomes more resolute. Their inner words become more trustworthy because their actions back them up. Discipline begins with small but clear decisions. It isn't built on extreme changes that last only a few days. It's built on simple habits that can be maintained for months and years. Waking up at a consistent time, taking care of your body with daily exercise, dedicating time to learning something new, or fulfilling responsibilities without unnecessary delays are examples of actions that seem simple but create a profound transformation. Each of these actions sends a message to the mind. The message says that personal commitment has value. When that message is repeated many times, one's identity begins to change. The person stops seeing themselves as someone trying to improve and starts seeing themselves as someone who lives with discipline. An important step in developing discipline is simplifying daily decisions. Many people waste mental energy overthinking what they should do. They analyze options for long periods and end up procrastinating. Discipline reduces this drain by establishing clear rules. For example, deciding on a basic routine in advance eliminates the need to negotiate with laziness every day. If a person decides to walk for 30 minutes every morning, that action ceases to be a daily question and becomes part of the day's structure. And the mind accepts the routine, and the effort required decreases. Constant repetition has a power that is often underestimated. Every time a positive action is repeated, a mental circuit is strengthened, making it easier to repeat. Over time, what once required effort becomes natural behavior. This process also occurs with negative habits. When someone repeatedly postpones responsibilities, their mind learns that pattern. That's why it's important to act quickly when an important task arises. Fulfilling responsibilities at the right time prevents stress buildup and strengthens the sense of control. Silent discipline also requires learning to tolerate temporary discomfort. Many valuable activities involve effort. Learning requires concentration, exercise requires movement, personal improvement requires facing mistakes and correcting them. A disciplined person doesn't expect constant comfort. They understand that growth occurs precisely when a small internal resistance is overcome. Every time someone acts despite that resistance, their will is strengthened. Over time, the mind stops interpreting effort as something negative. It begins to see it as a sign of progress. Another fundamental element of a disciplined character is consistency between words and actions. Many people talk about ambitious goals, but their daily habits don't reflect those goals. This contrast creates internal tension that weakens self-confidence. When actions reflect intentions, the mind finds harmony. There is no need to justify oneself or make excuses. Clarity arises because behavior is aligned with personal values. This consistency is evident in their actions, their speech, and how they handle responsibilities. The presence of a disciplined person conveys stability even without explaining their process. It's also important to understand that discipline doesn't mean living without rest or flexibility. It means managing energy intelligently. An exhausted mind loses its ability to concentrate and control. For this reason, rest is also part of discipline. Getting enough sleep, taking conscious breaks, and allowing moments of recovery keeps the mind clear and ready to continue with the necessary effort. The balance between effort and recovery allows one to maintain habits for long periods without falling into exhaustion. Organizing your environment also helps maintain discipline. A tidy space reduces distractions and facilitates concentration. When the necessary items are readily available and the environment is clear, the mind encounters fewer obstacles when starting a task. Small adjustments to the environment can have a remarkable impact on the consistency of habits. Preparing work materials in advance, reducing unnecessary stimuli, or establishing defined schedules creates a structure that encourages consistent action. Another powerful practice is to focus on the process rather than obsessing over immediate results. Many important goals require time to show visible results. When a person focuses solely on the end result, they may become frustrated if progress seems slow. Discipline changes your perspective. Each day becomes an opportunity to complete the process correctly. Every study session, every practice, every effort adds up to a small improvement. Although progress isn't always immediately visible, it's accumulating. This approach reduces anxiety and allows you to enjoy the growth journey. The relationship with time also changes when a person lives with discipline. Instead of seeing time as something that slips away quickly, they use it intentionally. Each day contains opportunities to move forward a little more. Even 15 minutes spent improving a skill can make a significant difference after months of consistent practice. A quiet character is strengthened precisely by those decisions that no one notices. Getting up when it would be easier to stay in bed, studying when others are distracted, finishing a task carefully instead of rushing through it to avoid effort. These decisions form an invisible foundation that sustains personal confidence. A discipline also helps manage distractions. Modern distractions are plentiful. Screens, notifications, and constant entertainment can fragment concentration. A disciplined mind sets clear boundaries. It decides when to work with focus and when to enjoy rest. This control prevents attention from scattering in too many directions. The ability to concentrate deeply for defined periods is an increasingly valuable skill. Progress also accelerates when a person regularly reviews their actions. Observing which habits work well and which need adjustment allows for improvement of the personal system. It's not about harsh self-criticism, but about learning honestly. This process of reflection strengthens awareness of how time and energy are used. Discipline also thrives on purpose. When someone understands why they are making an effort, a perseverance increases. The purpose doesn't need to be grand or complex. It can be the desire to grow, to develop skills, or to build a more stable life. That purpose acts as an internal guide when moments of doubt arise. Difficulties are inevitable on any path of growth. There will be days when progress seems slow. There will be times when unexpected obstacles arise. Discipline allows you to get through those moments without abandoning the path. Every time someone continues to move forward despite a difficulty, they strengthen their character. A quiet character does not seek constant recognition. Its main reward is the internal transformation that is built with each consistent action. Over time, this transformation becomes visible in one's way of life. The person becomes more reliable, more organized, and more focused. When decisions are made with greater clarity, commitments are kept firmly. People who observe this behavior feel respect because they recognize consistency and determination. Daily discipline is not a single heroic act. It is a collection of small intentional decisions repeated. Every day offers an opportunity to practice that consistency. A simple routine can become the foundation of a strong life. A small commitment can become a source of personal confidence. The secret is to persevere even when progress seems modest. Every good action builds upon the previous one and creates cumulative strength. As the months and years pass, this accumulation completely transforms one's character. The mind becomes firmer, the will becomes more reliable, personal presence becomes more solid. Silent discipline doesn't need to be proclaimed. It's reflected in the way you live. It's reflected in the serenity with which you face your responsibilities. It's reflected in the perseverance with which you pursue your goals. And when a person reaches that level of coherence, they discover something important. Character is not built with grand speeches or empty promises. It is built with daily actions performed with intention, patience, and commitment. Each disciplined day strengthens that invisible structure that sustains a firm and dignified life. Over time, that structure becomes a source of stability that no one can take away. Chapter 4. Eliminate distractions and focus your energy on real progress. Modern life is filled with stimuli that constantly compete for our attention. Messages arrive at every moment. Screens display content without pause. Conversations interrupt our focus, and thoughts jump from one idea to another. Amid this continuous noise, many people feel they work hard but accomplish little. The day ends with exhaustion, but without a clear sense of progress. This experience doesn't occur because of a lack of ability or intelligence. It occurs because energy is scattered in too many directions. Attention is one of the most valuable resources a person possesses. When attention is focused clearly, even small efforts can produce significant results. When attention is fragmented, effort is diluted. The mind becomes busy but unproductive. Focusing energy on real progress begins with a conscious decision to protect attention as if it were a limited resource. Every minute of concentration has value. Every unnecessary interruption steals a portion of that value. And the first step is to recognize which distractions occur most frequently. Some are external, a constantly vibrating phone, the television playing in the background, conversations that arise without a clear purpose. Other distractions originate within the mind, thoughts about problems that cannot be solved at that moment, worries about external opinions, or urges to check information unnecessarily. Observing these sources of distraction allows us to understand how mental energy is lost throughout the day. Many people are surprised to notice how often they interrupt their own focus without realizing it. A mind trained for progress learns to minimize these moments of interruption. This doesn't require eliminating all forms of rest or entertainment. It requires setting specific times for each activity. When it's time to work or learn, attention is focused entirely on that task. When it's time to rest, the mind can relax without guilt or worry. This clear separation creates a more balanced rhythm. Another important element is choosing a few priorities instead of trying to make progress on too many goals at once. The human mind works best when it can focus deeply on a specific task. When you try to divide your attention between multiple projects simultaneously, progress becomes superficial. Choosing a primary goal for each work period allows you to dedicate your full energy to that direction. Each concentration session becomes a concrete step toward that objective. Real progress almost always comes from depth, not quantity of activities. It's also helpful to understand that every time the mind switches tasks, it needs time to regain its previous level of concentration. Constantly switching between activities creates invisible wear and tear. A person may feel like they're doing a lot, but the quality of their focus diminishes. For this reason, it's valuable to create blocks of time where a single task receives your full attention. During this period, you avoid checking unnecessary messages, switching activities, or seeking momentary distractions. Even 30 or 40 minutes of deep focus can produce significant breakthroughs when repeated consistently. The environment also directly influences the ability to concentrate. A space filled with visual or auditory stimuli makes it difficult to focus the mind on a single task. Adjusting the environment to promote mental calm can make a significant difference. A tidy desk, adequate lighting, and in the absence of unnecessary noise, allow the mind to remain focused on the chosen task for longer. When the environment supports concentration, the effort required to maintain focus decreases. Another common source of distraction is the constant search for immediate stimuli. Many digital platforms are designed to capture attention for extended periods through brief, constantly changing content. This type of stimulation trains the mind to expect constant novelty. When the mind gets used to that accelerated pace of information, activities that require patience can seem boring or difficult to sustain. Retraining your attention requires accepting moments of silence and prolonged concentration. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. However, with regular practice, the mind regains its natural ability to delve deeply into a task for longer periods. This training strengthens mental clarity and improves the quality of work performed. True progress also requires distinguishing between activity and advancement. Many people fill their schedules with tasks that create a feeling of being busy. They constantly answer messages, check information without a clear purpose, or engage in activities that don't actually bring them closer to their main goals. The focused mind frequently asks whether the current action contributes to growth or simply takes up time. When a task doesn't produce significant progress, it can be reduced, delegated, or eliminated. This process frees up space for activities that do generate valuable results. Learning to say no is also part of protecting your energy. Not all external requests deserve a positive response. Taking on too many responsibilities can scatter your attention and diminish the quality of important work. A person committed to their progress carefully evaluates how they choose to invest their time. Turning down some opportunities allows them to fully concentrate on those that truly matter. Managing mental energy also involves taking care of your physical health. Extreme fatigue reduces the ability to concentrate. When the body is exhausted, the mind is more easily distracted. Getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, and eating a balanced diet all contribute to maintaining adequate energy levels. A well-cared-for body supports a more stable and focused mind. Clarity also improves when a person starts the day with a defined intention. Taking a few minutes at the beginning of the day to decide which tasks are most important creates direction. The mind stops reacting to every external stimulus and begins to follow a plan. Identifying one or two key actions that generate real progress allows the day to have a clear purpose. When those actions are completed, a profound sense of progress emerges, reinforcing the motivation to continue. Another helpful practice is to review how you used your time at the end of the day. This exercise isn't meant to generate guilt or excessive criticism. Its purpose is to honestly observe how you used your attention. Analyzing which moments were productive and which were lost to distractions allows you to gradually adjust your habits. Constant improvement stems from this conscious observation. Over the weeks, while small adjustments in the way you use your time produce visible results. It's also important to remember that real progress rarely happens dramatically in a single day. It usually comes from small but steady advances. Each focused session adds a layer of improvement. Every accumulated effort strengthens skills and knowledge. This type of progress may seem slow at first, but its effect becomes powerful when it is maintained for months and years. A mind that learns to eliminate distractions begins to experience a different sense of control. Decisions become clearer. Work becomes higher quality. Time no longer feels scattered. This inner transformation is also reflected in personal presence. Someone who directs their attention firmly conveys confidence. Their words are more precise because their mind is accustomed to clear thinking. Their actions demonstrate coherence because their energy is used purposefully. People can tell when someone is truly focused. That quality commands respect because it demonstrates discipline and direction. Focus doesn't mean living in constant tension. It means consciously choosing where to place your energy. When the mind learns to do this, every action becomes more meaningful. Moments of rest are also enjoyed more deeply because they are not accompanied by the feeling of pending tasks or wasted time. Eliminating distractions doesn't require absolute perfection. There will be times when your attention wanders. There will be days when focus is harder to maintain. The important thing is to return again and again to the practice of directing your mind toward what truly matters. Each return strengthens the ability to concentrate. Each day offers new opportunities to practice this control over attention. When a person protects their mental energy and directs it toward clear goals, they discover a powerful truth. Real progress doesn't depend on working tirelessly or chasing every opportunity that comes along. It depends on wisely choosing where to place your attention and consistently maintaining that direction. Over time, that ability completely transforms the way you work, learn, and live. The mind becomes calmer because it no longer races in every direction. Energy is channeled toward actions that produce concrete results. And when attention becomes a conscious tool, the path to growth becomes much clearer and more powerful. Chapter 5. Practice listening more and speaking only when it adds value. Something curious happens in many modern conversations. Most people gather to talk, but few truly listen. Each person waits their turn to express an opinion, tell a story, or demonstrate knowledge. Words move quickly from one person to another, but deep understanding rarely emerges. Amid this constant exchange of voices, a quiet skill begins to grow increasingly valuable: the ability to listen with genuine attention. Listening is not simply remaining silent while someone else speaks. Listening is an active form of mental presence. It means directing your attention to the other person's words without preparing an immediate response. It means allowing them to finish expressing their idea before intervening. When someone develops this skill, the quality of their relationships changes profoundly. People quickly perceive when someone is truly present in a conversation. Their gaze remains attentive. What their posture shows interest, and they respond only after fully understanding what has been said. This kind of attentiveness creates an atmosphere of respect and trust. The other person feels that their words have space to exist. Many conflicts arise precisely because people don't listen patiently. Interpretations are formed before the full message is understood. A single phrase becomes a point of contention. A misunderstood idea triggers defensive responses. When you practice listening calmly, many tensions disappear before they even begin. A disciplined mind understands that listening is also a form of learning. Each person has different experiences, unique perspectives, and knowledge that can contribute something new. When someone focuses solely on speaking, they limit their capacity for growth. When they make space to listen, once they discover ideas that were previously unavailable. This attitude requires intellectual humility. Recognizing that others can contribute valuable information broadens one's perspective. The conversation transforms into an exchange where both participants can grow. Listening attentively also allows us to understand emotions that aren't always expressed in words. Tone of voice, pauses, and the way an idea is expressed reveal important aspects of the speaker's inner state. When someone pays attention to these details, they can respond with greater sensitivity and understanding. This kind of presence creates deeper human connections. Many people aren't necessarily looking for complex advice. Often, they simply want to feel understood. Sincere listening can offer that support naturally. Speaking out with courage is also part of this balance. It's not about remaining silent in every situation. It's about carefully choosing when and how to intervene. Words have the greatest impact when they come after attentive listening. A thoughtful mind first considers whether what it is about to say brings clarity, a solution, or understanding. If the answer is yes, speaking makes sense. If the words only repeat what has already been said or seek to impose an opinion without listening, silence may be more helpful. This practice strengthens the quality of communication. Conversations become more meaningful because each contribution has a clear intention. Speaking less also reduces the chance of saying something impulsive that could lead to misunderstandings. When someone gets used to responding immediately, they may react based on emotion rather than reflection. The pause before speaking allows you to organize your thoughts. In that brief moment, your mind can assess the appropriate tone and choose more precise words. Well-chosen words carry special weight. They don't need to be many to powerfully convey an idea. Another advantage of listening more is that it allows you to observe patterns in human behavior. When a person speaks less and pays attention, they begin to notice details that normally go unnoticed. Observe how people react to different situations. Perceive which topics generate enthusiasm or concern. Identify the real needs behind certain expressions. This type of observation enhances social intelligence. A better understanding of others makes it easier to make sounder decisions in personal and professional relationships. When there is also an internal dimension to this practice. When someone talks constantly, the mind remains occupied organizing ideas, preparing arguments, or searching for new words. Conscious silence creates mental space for reflection. That space allows you to examine your own thoughts more clearly. Often, the wisest answers appear precisely when the mind stops trying to fill every moment with words. Ancient cultures deeply valued this ability. Wise people would listen for long periods before offering an opinion. They knew that complete understanding requires time and attention. In today's world where speed dominates many interactions, reclaiming this attitude may seem strange at first. However, those who practice it quickly discover its benefits. Communication becomes calmer. Arguments lose unnecessary intensity. Relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect. Listening attentively also helps avoid incorrect assumptions. Often, people interpret what they think they heard, not what was actually said. Calmly asking questions to clarify an idea demonstrates genuine interest and reduces misunderstandings. This habit improves the quality of dialogue. Instead of defending rigid positions, people begin to explore ideas more openly. Daily practice can begin with simple gestures. During a conversation, maintain your full attention on the speaker. Avoid looking at your phone or being distracted by other stimuli. Allow the other person to finish their thought before responding. It can also be helpful to mentally repeat the main message you've heard. This exercise helps confirm your understanding before offering a response. And when it's time to speak, clarity becomes more important than word count. A short, well-thought-out answer can be more valuable than a long, aimless speech. Words should also reflect respect, even when there is disagreement. Expressing a different opinion calmly demonstrates emotional maturity. The conversation can continue constructively when both parties feel their perspective has been considered. Speaking only when it adds value also protects your personal reputation. People who speak thoughtfully are usually listened to more attentively. Their words generate anticipation because they don't appear constantly. This quality creates a calm presence that inspires confidence. Others begin to seek the opinion of someone who demonstrates the ability to listen first. Patience is an important ally in this process. And as some conversations require time to reveal their true meaning. Interrupting too soon can prevent a full understanding of the idea. Allowing dialogue to proceed naturally makes it easier for people to express what they really think. It's also important to accept moments of silence within a conversation. Many people feel the need to fill every pause with words. However, a brief silence can offer space to think and organize thoughts. When no one rushes to speak, the next intervention usually emerges more clearly. This balance between listening and speaking strengthens the quiet nature mentioned throughout this path of personal growth. A person who masters this skill doesn't need to compete for attention. Their presence is based on the quality of their attention and the precision of their words. And the respect he commands does not come from volume or insistence, but from the feeling that his interventions have a purpose. Over time, this practice transforms how a person engages with the world. Conversations become opportunities for learning and connection. Relationships become more genuine because each person feels heard. The mind also benefits from this attitude. Listening attentively develops patience, understanding, and mental clarity. These qualities influence many other areas of life. When someone masters the art of listening, they discover that true communication isn't about demonstrating superiority or winning arguments. It's about understanding, sharing ideas respectfully, and building mutual understanding. Speaking then becomes a precise tool instead of a constant impulse. Each carefully chosen word reflects character, a wisdom and self-control. And when words are used with that intention, they acquire a value that transcends the moment of the conversation. People remember what was said because it was expressed clearly and respectfully. The practice of listening more and speaking only when it adds value doesn't require special talent. It requires mindful attention and inner discipline. Every daily conversation offers an opportunity to practice. Every moment of deep listening strengthens the human connection. Every word spoken with intention enhances the quality of the dialogue. Over time, this attitude creates a serene presence that inspires confidence and respect in any environment. Chapter 6. Improve your posture and communicate confidence without saying words. The body speaks constantly, even when the mouth remains silent, which before a person utters a single word, their posture has already sent several messages. The way they walk, the position of their shoulders, how they hold their head, and the stability of their gaze all communicate information about their internal state of mind. People perceive these signals immediately, often without realizing it. A firm and balanced posture conveys tranquility and confidence. It's not about adopting a rigid or exaggerated attitude. It's about allowing the body to reflect inner stability. When the body is aligned, the mind also finds greater clarity. Many people spend much of their day hunched over, looking down, or constantly rushing around. This type of posture may seem insignificant at first, but over time it affects both external perception and internal well-being. A body that moves with tension and misalignment can reinforce feelings of insecurity or fatigue. Correcting your posture isn't just a physical matter. It's a way to cultivate your personal presence. The first step is to become aware of how your body feels at different times of the day. Notice if your shoulders are slumped, if your back is too rounded, or if your head is tilted forward for extended periods. This simple act of observation creates an opportunity to adjust your posture. Gently lifting your chest, relaxing your shoulders back, and aligning your head with your spine allows your body to breathe more freely. When the body opens up, breathing also becomes deeper. Air enters more easily, and the mind receives more oxygen. This small physical change can directly influence emotional state. Deep, expansive breathing promotes calmness and concentration. Walking also offers an opportunity to communicate confidence without words. Many people walk at an excessive pace, constantly looking at the ground or checking for external stimuli. This behavior conveys a sense of distraction. A balanced walk projects something different. The steps are firm yet natural. The gaze is directed forward with calm attention. The pace is neither slow nor hurried, but steady. This type of movement conveys the feeling that the person knows where they are going. Even in crowded places, a calm presence often creates space around them. People perceive this confidence and respond naturally. Head position also influences nonverbal communication. Keeping it slightly raised allows you to observe your surroundings clearly and projects an open attitude. Whilst constantly looking down can convey doubt or insecurity. This doesn't mean staring at others in a challenging way. It means maintaining a calm gaze during an interaction. Brief, respectful eye contact demonstrates attentiveness and confidence. Your posture while sitting also has a significant impact. Spending hours at a desk with your back hunched over not only affects your physical health, but also your mental energy. Adjusting your seat position, keeping your back properly supported, and placing your feet firmly on the floor helps maintain stability. When the body is balanced, the mind finds it easier to concentrate. The mind-body connection works both ways. Thoughts influence posture, but posture also influences thoughts. Adopting a firmer stance can help change one's internal perception of a situation. For example, when facing an important moment, such as a meeting or a significant conversation, adjusting one's posture beforehand can create a sense of preparedness. Breathing calmly, aligning the spine, and releasing unnecessary tension allows one to approach the situation with greater serenity. Physical presence becomes a support for mental clarity. Hands also communicate silent messages. Excessive or nervous movements can convey anxiety. Keeping your hands relaxed and using them only when necessary to support an idea creates a calmer impression. Every gesture has an effect. When movements are conscious and moderate, they reinforce the feeling of balance. Facial expression is also part of this silent communication. A constantly tense face can reflect worry or stress. Relaxing your facial muscles and allowing a natural expression conveys calm. And this doesn't mean maintaining a constant smile or faking emotions. It means avoiding unnecessary tension that the body accumulates without realizing it. Practicing body awareness can help develop this skill. Spending a few minutes each day observing how each part of your body feels allows you to detect hidden tension. Adjusting your posture, gently stretching your muscles, or taking deep breaths releases that accumulated tension. Over time, the body learns to maintain a more balanced position naturally. Physical exercise also contributes to improved posture and body confidence. Activities that strengthen the back, abdomen, and legs help to support the body with greater stability. When the muscles that support the spine are strong, maintaining proper posture requires less effort. Furthermore, irregular movement improves circulation and overall energy. An active body radiates vitality even when at rest. Clothing and personal grooming can also influence how someone physically presents themselves. Choosing comfortable and appropriate clothing for each situation allows for natural movement. When a person feels comfortable with their appearance, their posture usually reflects greater confidence. This isn't about following trends or seeking external approval. It's about presenting yourself with order and self-respect. Posture also communicates respect for others. During a conversation, leaning slightly toward the speaker demonstrates attentiveness. Avoiding gestures of impatience or distraction shows consideration. These small details enhance the quality of the interaction. Consistency in posture creates a cumulative effect. Each day you practice a more balanced position, your body gradually adapts. What initially requires conscious attention eventually becomes a natural habit. This gradual change transforms the way a person moves and presents themselves to the world. The confidence that is communicated through the body does not depend on an artificial performance. It arises when the mind and body work in harmony. A person who takes care of their posture also tends to take care of their mental clarity, discipline, and emotional balance. All these qualities are reflected in physical presence. People perceive this consistency without needing explanations. A firm posture, a calm gaze, and deliberate movements convey stability. This form of silent communication can open doors in many aspects of life. In professional settings, a confident presence inspires trust. In personal relationships, it conveys respect and authenticity. The body becomes a powerful ally in expressing what the mind has cultivated. Consistent practice allows this presence to be maintained even in moments of pressure. When the body remains balanced, the mind remembers to stay calm. Deep breathing helps sustain clarity in challenging situations. Posture then ceases to be merely a physical position and becomes an external manifestation of inner character. Every time a person stops to adjust their posture, they are sending a silent message to their own mind. That message says that stability matters, that presence has value, and that the body deserves care. Over time, these small adjustments create a visible transformation. The way you walk changes. The way you sit conveys greater tranquility. The way you look reflects mindful attention. All of this happens without needing to utter a single word. True confidence rarely needs to be proclaimed. It reveals itself in the way one occupies space, in the serenity of movement, and in the coherence between mind and body. When someone develops this presence, their communication becomes more powerful because it does not depend solely on what they say. The whole body becomes a clear expression of balance, self-respect, and inner security. Chapter 7. Cultivate daily habits that boost your personal energy. Each person has a limited amount of energy each day. This energy doesn't just refer to physical strength. It also includes mental clarity, emotional stability, and the ability to act decisively. When personal energy is high, its decisions become more decisive, tasks are completed more easily, and the mind responds more calmly to challenges. When energy is low, even simple actions can feel burdensome. Many people seek external motivation to move forward, but motivation often arises more easily when internal energy is in good condition. For this reason, cultivating daily habits that strengthen personal energy is one of the most valuable decisions for building a balanced and productive life. The foundation of this energy begins with caring for the body. The body is the instrument through which the mind thinks, moves, and acts. When the body receives proper care, it responds with vitality. When it is neglected, the mind also begins to feel the effects. Getting enough sleep is one of the most important pillars of well-being. Deep rest allows the brain to recover from the day's exertion. During sleep, the body reorganizes information, restores internal functions, and prepares the mind for new activities. A person who sleeps regularly and gets quality sleep usually wakes up with greater clarity and emotional stability. Establishing a consistent sleep schedule helps the body maintain a natural rhythm. Sleeping and waking at similar times each day allows internal processes to function more harmoniously. Daily movement also helps boost energy. The human body is designed to move. Spending too many hours in the same position can lead to physical stiffness and mental fatigue. Even simple activities like walking, stretching, or moderate exercise improve circulation and overall well-being. When the body moves, oxygen flow increases and the mind gains greater clarity. Many people find that after a leisurely walk, their thoughts become easier to organize. Movement also helps release tension accumulated during the day. Stress can silently settle in the muscles and affect mood. Regular exercise allows that tension to dissipate and the body to regain balance. Nutrition also directly influences personal energy levels. What a person consumes becomes fuel for their body and mind. Eating a balanced diet allows for stable energy levels throughout the day. Simple natural foods tend to provide more sustained energy than those that produce rapid energy spikes followed by fatigue. Maintaining regular meal times also helps the body maintain a healthy rhythm. Hydration is another often overlooked element. Water is involved in numerous internal processes. One even slight dehydration can cause feelings of tiredness or difficulty concentrating. Maintaining adequate hydration throughout the day helps preserve mental clarity. In addition to physical care, personal energy also depends on the quality of one's thoughts. The mind can become a source of strength or a source of constant drain. Repetitive negative thoughts can consume a large portion of available energy. Observing your inner dialogue allows you to identify these patterns. When the mind begins to focus on exaggerated worries or constant criticism, energy is scattered. Redirecting your attention to concrete actions in the present helps you regain balance. Gratitude is a simple practice that can shift the direction of your mind. Taking a few minutes to acknowledge the positive aspects of life allows your mind to break free from the habit of focusing solely on problems. This change in perspective creates a sense of stability that influences your emotional energy. Another valuable habit is starting the day with a clear intention. Many people wake up and immediately begin reacting to external stimuli. They check messages, news, or social media without first defining their own direction. Taking a few minutes at the start of the day to set priorities changes the course of the day. Identifying the most important tasks allows you to direct your energy toward what truly makes progress. This small act of planning reduces the feeling of chaos and increases the feeling of control. The organization of your environment also affects your mental energy. So a cluttered space can lead to distractions and eye strain. Maintaining a clean and tidy workspace makes it easier to concentrate. Having everything in its place reduces mental friction. When the environment is clear, the mind finds it easier to maintain focus. Mindful breaks are also necessary to maintain energy throughout the day. Working non-stop for many hours can diminish the quality of your effort. Taking brief moments to stretch, breathe deeply, or walk for a few minutes allows your mind to recover. These breaks are not a waste of time. They act as short recharges that allow you to continue with greater clarity. Exposure to nature can also have a positive effect. Spending a few minutes outdoors, observing the sky, or walking among trees can reduce accumulated mental stress. Contact with natural spaces offers a healthy contrast to the fast pace of modern life. The quality of human relationships also influences personal energy. Interactions based on respect, support, and understanding can boost morale. Conversely, relationships filled with constant conflict can lead to emotional exhaustion. Choosing carefully the people you spend time with helps protect your inner balance. Surrounding yourself with individuals who value personal growth creates an environment that fosters positive habits. Continuous learning also boosts mental energy. When a person is exposed to new ideas, develops skills, or explores knowledge, the mind remains active and curious. This type of stimulation strengthens the sense of progress. Reading, studying, or reflecting on topics that expand our understanding of the world adds depth to daily life. Discipline also plays an important role in energy management. Fulfilling personal commitments creates a sense of inner order. Each completed task reinforces confidence in one's ability to move forward. When responsibilities pile up unattended, the mind is burdened with a constant sense of pressure. Attending to duties at the appropriate time frees up mental space. Moderation in technology use also helps conserve energy. Constant exposure to fast-paced information can overwhelm the mind. Setting specific times to check devices allows for greater control over attention. This type of boundary protects mental clarity. Silence also has special value in renewing energy. Dedicating a few minutes each day to stillness allows the mind to reorganize itself. Calm breathing, in the absence of external stimuli, create a space where thoughts can become organized. This simple habit strengthens emotional stability. Over time, all these practices begin to integrate into daily life. It's not about making radical changes overnight. Transformation occurs when small habits are consistently repeated. Each day offers opportunities to strengthen personal energy. Sleeping well, moving regularly, eating a balanced diet, and directing the mind toward constructive thoughts are decisions that add up. Personal energy doesn't arise solely from moments of enthusiasm. It's built through habits that sustain physical, mental, and emotional well-being. When a person consciously attends to these aspects, their presence changes. One, they move with greater vitality. Their decisions are clear. Their attitude conveys stability. People perceive this energy even without explanation. It's reflected in the way they speak, the way they work, and the serenity with which they face challenges. Cultivating habits that boost personal energy is not a luxury or a secondary activity. It's an investment in the quality of each day. A clear mind, an active body, and a balanced spirit create the foundation for moving confidently toward important goals. Each positive habit acts as a small source of energy that fuels progress. Over time, these sources combine and generate a constant internal force, a strength that allows one to face life with determination, calm, and lasting confidence. Chapter 8. Strengthen your mind by facing challenges with patience and perseverance. And the human mind grows stronger in a particular way. It doesn't thrive in moments of constant comfort or in periods where everything is easy. True mental strength emerges when a person faces difficulties and decides to stand firm without abandoning the path. Challenges are inevitable in any life. The difference between a fragile mind and a strong mind lies in how those difficulties are met. Many people try to avoid any uncomfortable situation. They seek paths where effort is minimal and results appear quickly. However, this approach limits inner development. When life presents an unexpected obstacle, the mind that hasn't practiced resilience often reacts with frustration or discouragement. Patience and perseverance offer a different answer. These qualities allow you to move forward even when progress seems slow. They allow you to maintain clarity when results don't appear immediately. Patience doesn't mean passively waiting. It means continuing to act with discipline while the process unfolds naturally. It's the ability to understand that many important goals require time to develop. When a person learns to work with patience, they stop seeking instant gratification. They begin to value the process that builds lasting results. Consistency complements this attitude. Each day offers an opportunity to make a small step forward. Even if that step seems modest, its repetition creates cumulative strength. Imagine a drop of water falling on a stone for long periods. A single drop seems insignificant, but thousands of drops can transform the surface over time. Constant effort produces a similar effect on the human mind. Every time someone faces a difficult task and decides to persevere, they strengthen their resilience. Every moment they choose to move forward despite discomfort creates a more solid mental foundation. The first step in strengthening your mind to face challenges is to change how you interpret difficulties. Many people see obstacles as signs that something is wrong or that they should stop. This interpretation creates a negative relationship with effort. A trained mind views challenges from a different perspective. It sees them as opportunities to expand its capabilities. Every problem contains a lesson that can improve the ability to face future situations. When a challenge arises, the mind may ask itself what skill it needs to develop to overcome it. This question directs attention toward learning rather than frustration. Patience is also developed by accepting that progress isn't always linear. Some days the advance will be clear and visible. Other days it will seem like no change is happening. This pattern is natural in any growth process. People who quit quickly often do so because they expect constant, uninterrupted improvement. When reality doesn't match that expectation, they lose motivation. A steadfast mind accepts these variations without losing its way. It understands that accumulated effort produces results, even if they aren't always immediately visible. The ability to tolerate discomfort also strengthens the mind. Many valuable activities require stepping outside your comfort zone. Learning a new skill, developing physical discipline, or facing difficult conversations can create temporary stress. When someone gets used to avoiding these situations, their world shrinks. When they learn to navigate them calmly, their personal capacity expands. The key is not to seek unnecessary suffering. The key is to accept that growth often appears on the other side of difficulty. Conscious breathing can help maintain balance during stressful times. When the body perceives a challenge, the natural reaction can include muscle tension and rapid breathing. This response can intensify feelings of stress. Breathing deeply and slowly sends calming signals to the nervous system. This simple adjustment allows the mind to regain clarity and continue assessing the situation calmly. Reflection also plays an important role in mental strengthening. After going through a challenge, looking back on the experience allows you to identify what worked well and what could be improved in the future. This process transforms every difficulty into a source of learning. The mind stops seeing mistakes as permanent failures and begins to see them as valuable information. Perseverance is also strengthened when a person maintains a clear purpose. Knowing why one is making an effort helps maintain direction even in difficult times. The purpose doesn't need to be complex. It can stem from a desire to improve skills, build personal stability, or develop a stronger character. That sense of direction acts as a guide when doubts arise. Difficulties also offer opportunities to develop emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover after a difficult experience. It doesn't mean that difficulties don't affect the person. It means that the person doesn't become trapped by them. A resilient mind recognizes the impact of the situation, learns what it can learn, and continues to move forward. The support of others can also strengthen the mind during challenging times. Talking with people who offer balanced perspectives allows you to see situations from different angles. A sincere conversation can bring clarity when the mind is overwhelmed. However, inner strength is built primarily through repeated personal choices. Every time someone chooses to act patiently instead of reacting impulsively, their self-control increases. Every time someone continues working despite moderate fatigue, their discipline is strengthened. These decisions seem small when viewed in isolation. Over time, they create a profound change in mental structure. What difficulties also teach humility. Remembering that growth requires time and practice prevents unrealistic expectations. Humility allows us to recognize areas that need improvement without falling into destructive self-criticism. A balanced mind recognizes its current limitations while maintaining confidence in its ability to learn. Gratitude can also emerge even during difficult times. Recognizing that every challenge brings with it an opportunity for growth changes how experiences are perceived. This approach transforms problems into mental training opportunities. Patience also involves allowing certain situations to run their natural course. Not everything can be resolved immediately. Some circumstances require time to evolve. Learning to wait calmly avoids impulsive decisions that could worsen the situation. And consistency becomes especially important during these waiting periods. Continuing to take positive actions whenever possible keeps progress moving forward. A mind that practices patience and perseverance develops a quiet confidence. It doesn't depend on immediate results to feel secure. It knows that sustained effort eventually produces change. People who observe this attitude often feel respect. The ability to maintain composure in the face of difficulty demonstrates character. Over time, the mind begins to seek out constructive challenges instead of avoiding them. Each challenge overcome increases the sense of personal capability. Life then becomes a continuous learning process. Each experience offers an opportunity to strengthen patience, improve discipline, and expand resilience. Strengthening the mind doesn't happen in a single extraordinary moment. It's the result of facing many small situations with a conscious attitude. Each obstacle overcome adds a layer of strength. Each day of consistency strengthens confidence in one's own abilities. Every moment where patience is chosen over despair builds a stronger inner foundation. Over time, this practice profoundly transforms the way one faces life. The mind becomes calmer in the face of the unexpected. Challenges are perceived as natural stages of growth. The person stops fearing the difficulty because they know they possess the tools to overcome it. And when this understanding becomes part of one's character, a silent strength emerges that allows one to move forward with determination, even in life's most demanding moments. Chapter 9. Build self-respect by making firm decisions every day. Self-respect doesn't appear automatically, nor does it depend on the approval of others. It's an internal construct built through repeated decisions over time. Every action a person chooses sends a silent message to their mind about the value they place on themselves. When decisions align with clear principles, the mind begins to develop a profound sense of personal dignity. Many people seek external validation to feel valued. They hope for praise, acceptance, or validation to confirm they are doing the right thing. However, this way of building self-esteem is often unstable. Other people's opinions are constantly changing, and basing self-respect on those opinions can lead to insecurity. True self-respect arises when someone learns to make firm decisions based on their values, even when no one is watching. It's an internal relationship between conscience and daily actions. Every time a person acts in accordance with what they believe is right, their mind registers that consistency. Consistency builds inner confidence. When thoughts, words, and actions maintain a similar direction, the mind perceives stability. This stability generates a sense of integrity that strengthens character. Making firm decisions isn't always easy. Often it means choosing the more demanding path over the more comfortable one. It might mean fulfilling a responsibility when motivation is low, or maintaining a clear boundary in situations that violate one's principles. Each of these choices strengthens self-respect because it demonstrates commitment to one's own values. A simple way to begin this process is to make small personal promises. These promises don't need to be big goals. They can be everyday decisions like completing a pending task, maintaining a healthy routine, or dedicating time to learning. When a person keeps those promises, the mind learns that it can trust its own decisions. Inner confidence grows gradually. Every consistent action reinforces the sense of personal capability. Conversely, when decisions are constantly postponed or promises are easily broken, the mind begins to doubt its own discipline. Self-respect is also related to how a person sets boundaries. Boundaries define what someone is willing to accept and what they consider inappropriate. Maintaining clear boundaries protects emotional and mental well-being. And when someone consistently accepts situations that contradict their values, they may begin to feel a loss of control over their life. Conversely, when they learn to express their boundaries clearly and calmly, They develop a sense of autonomy. Making firm decisions doesn't mean acting harshly or rigidly. It means acting clearly. A firm decision can be communicated respectfully, but also with determination. People who have self-respect don't need to raise their voices to demonstrate their position. Their confidence is reflected in the consistency of their actions. Daily discipline also strengthens self-respect. Fulfilling responsibilities, taking care of one's health, and managing time wisely demonstrates a commitment to one's own well-being. These actions create a structure that supports personal growth. Each day offers numerous opportunities to practice conscious decisions. Some choices seem small, like getting up on time or completing a task without delay. However, these decisions are part of a pattern that defines character. When the right decisions are repeated frequently, the mind develops an identity based on responsibility. Clarity of values also facilitates making firm decisions. When a person reflects on what they consider important in their life, they can act with greater purpose. Values function as an internal compass that guides daily choices. Some people find that writing down their personal principles helps them keep them top of mind. This exercise allows them to remember what kind of person they want to be. Self-respect also involves accepting responsibility for the decisions you make. Meaning, everyone makes mistakes at some point. The difference lies in how you respond to those mistakes. A person with self-respect acknowledges their mistakes without making unnecessary excuses. They learn from the experience and adjust their behavior in the future. This process transforms mistakes into opportunities for growth. Honesty with oneself is another fundamental element. Recognizing one's true emotions, thoughts, and motivations allows for more authentic decision-making. When someone tries to ignore what they truly feel or think, their actions can become contradictory. Internal honesty allows one to act with greater consistency. Firm decisions also help build emotional independence. When a person is confident in their ability to choose clearly, they become less dependent on external approval. This does not mean ignoring the opinions of others. It means evaluating those opinions with your own judgment. Self-respect is also strengthened when a person protects their time. Time is one of our most valuable resources. Using it consciously reflects respect for one's own life. Choosing activities that contribute to personal growth or general well-being demonstrates a responsible attitude. Decisions related to the environment also influence self-respect. Surrounding yourself with people who value honesty, effort, and growth creates an environment that reinforces these principles. Relationships based on mutual respect help maintain clarity in one's own values. Making firm decisions also requires courage at times. It may involve standing up for a just idea, changing course from the wrong direction, or abandoning habits that no longer contribute to well-being. These decisions may cause temporary discomfort, but they also strengthen personal identity. Repeating consistent choices leads to profound transformation. Over time, the person begins to see themselves as reliable and responsible. That internal perception influences how one acts in the face of new challenges. Self-respect is also reflected in personal care. Maintaining habits that protect physical and mental health demonstrates recognition of one's own worth. Sleeping properly, eating mindfully, and dedicating time to rest are decisions that contribute to overall balance. Each of these actions sends a message to the mind. Life itself deserves attention and care. The ability to say no when necessary is also part of self-respect. Many people accept commitments they don't want for fear of disappointing others. Learning to reject requests that contradict one's own values protects personal energy. Saying no respectfully and clearly is a way to maintain integrity. Consistency is one of the most powerful elements in building self-respect. It's not about performing extraordinary actions occasionally. It's about consistently upholding clear principles. The daily repetition of consistent decisions strengthens internal confidence. Over time, this confidence is reflected in the way they speak, walk, and interact with others. People can tell when someone acts from a deep sense of integrity. Self-respect doesn't need exaggerated displays. It manifests naturally in the serenity and confidence a person exudes. A mind that has developed this quality no longer constantly seeks external approval. It finds satisfaction in knowing that its decisions reflect its values. Each day then becomes an opportunity to strengthen that internal relationship. Every conscious choice strengthens the structure of character. Every moment where you choose to act with integrity adds a new layer of self-respect. Over time, these decisions build a firm and stable identity, an identity based on coherence, responsibility, and clarity. And when that identity is consolidated, the person begins to walk through life with a calm security that does not depend on external circumstances. A confidence that arises from the deep understanding that their decisions reflect who they have chosen to be. Chapter 10. Live with purpose and let your actions always speak. Living with purpose means that every action you take has a clear meaning and is consistent with the values you have chosen to follow. It's not just about fulfilling obligations or reacting to external circumstances. It means having clarity about what you want to build, the person you want to be, and the impact you want to have on your life and those around you. When you act with purpose, even the simplest actions take on profound meaning and provide a constant direction in your life. Confusion and distraction diminish because every decision is evaluated based on whether it contributes to the larger goal you have defined for yourself. Many people live their lives flitting from one stimulus to another, letting external circumstances dictate their actions. When this way of living can create a feeling of being busy, but without actually making progress. Energy is scattered, and the mind grows weary from constantly searching for answers in places that offer no real value. Living with purpose is the opposite. It's about channeling your energy toward what truly matters and eliminating anything that doesn't contribute to your growth. Defining a clear purpose doesn't require being grandiose or ambitious by others' standards. It can be as simple as deciding to be a person of integrity, honesty, and consistency each day. It might involve improving your environment, cultivating meaningful relationships, or developing skills that enable you to achieve your goals. What's important is that there's a direction guiding your decisions and that your actions are aligned with that direction. When each day has meaning, life stops feeling fragmented and begins to reflect inner coherence. Acting with purpose transforms how you face challenges. When you know what you're building, obstacles become learning opportunities, not sources of frustration. The mind learns to evaluate difficulties constructively, seeking solutions and strategies that allow you to move forward instead of succumbing to uncertainty or discouragement. Every challenge faced with purpose strengthens resilience and mental clarity. One of the most powerful aspects of living with purpose is that actions speak louder than words. Saying you want to be a disciplined, generous, or ethical person has limited value if it isn't reflected in your daily actions. True credibility arises when your habits, decisions, or when behaviors consistently demonstrate the values you profess. Consistent actions generate self-respect and a perception of authenticity in others. Consistency between what you think, what you say, and what you do becomes a silent magnet that attracts trust and genuine admiration. To maintain a consistent focus, it's essential to set clear priorities and continuously evaluate how you invest your time and energy. Each day offers a limited amount of resources, and choosing how to use them determines the quality of your results. Learning to identify activities that truly contribute to your purpose allows you to dedicate effort to what has real impact and let go of distractions that only drain energy without generating progress. This practice strengthens discipline and allows you to live with greater clarity. Daily reflection is an essential tool to ensure your actions are aligned with your purpose. Taking time to evaluate what you've done, what you've learned, and what you can still improve helps you stay on the right track. Honest self-assessment allows you to adjust behaviors, reinforce positive habits, and abandon patterns that don't contribute to your goals. This habit creates a continuous cycle of learning and personal growth. Difficult decisions are inevitable when you live with purpose. Often you'll have to choose between what's easy and what's right, between the immediate and what adds long-term value. Inner strength develops precisely in those moments. Every firm choice that aligns with your values strengthens your confidence and your ability to act with integrity. Over time, this practice cultivates a strong character that doesn't depend on external approval, but rather on internal clarity about what's important. Maintaining a purpose also requires being aware of the impact your actions have on others. A meaningful life isn't measured solely by personal achievements, but also by how your decisions affect your environment and the people you interact with. Acting responsibly and respectfully amplifies the meaning of your purpose and reinforces the feeling that your life has value beyond yourself. Developing consistent habits is another key component. Every daily action that reflects your purpose reinforces the behavior pattern you want to maintain. Small, intentionally repeated actions generate significant changes over time. Consistency transforms habits into a silent force that sustains coherence and authenticity. Living with purpose also involves learning to prioritize attention and focus. The human mind is easily distracted by multiple stimuli. Identifying what is essential to your goals and dedicating uninterrupted time to it strengthens your ability to focus on what truly matters. Every conscious choice of attention is an investment in clarity and personal growth. Emotional resilience is necessary to sustain purpose during difficult times. There will be days when circumstances seem unfavorable, when results are slow to appear, or when motivation wanes. Staying calm and acting consistently allows you to navigate these periods without losing your way. Patience and persistence are essential for sustaining a long-term purpose. Learning to celebrate small achievements also helps maintain momentum. Every action that reflects your values, every step toward your goals, and every decision aligned with your purpose deserves recognition. This recognition strengthens intrinsic motivation and reinforces the connection between effort and meaning. Effective communication and authenticity also reinforce purpose. Clearly expressing ideas and values allows others to understand your approach and strengthens your own inner conviction. However, true strength lies not in constantly talking about purpose, but in demonstrating it through coherent and consistent actions. The environment significantly influences the ability to maintain a purpose. Surrounding yourself with people who share similar values or who respect your path facilitates consistency. Conversely, environments that foster distractions, negativity, or indecisiveness can weaken inner coherence. Consciously choosing the spaces and relationships that strengthen your purpose contributes to more stable and sustained progress. Self-awareness is another vital tool. Knowing your strengths and limitations allows you to act with realism and determination. Identifying patterns that hinder progress and developing strategies to overcome them strengthens your ability to maintain consistency in your decisions. Living with purpose also means embracing responsibility for your own life. Every action, every choice, and every habit contributes to building the person you want to be. Taking on this responsibility generates a sense of inner power and empowerment. And a life ceases to be perceived as something that simply happens and becomes something that is actively constructed. Over time, purpose becomes a silent engine that guides each day. Decisions become quicker, clearer, and more aligned with what truly matters. Energy is focused on what's essential, and distractions lose their power in the face of inner direction. Ultimately, when actions speak volumes, a presence emerges that conveys integrity and clarity without needing explanation. People perceive this consistency and respond with respect and trust. Living with purpose transforms not only the life of the person taking action, but also their environment, creating a lasting and positive impact. True strength lies in the combination of inner clarity, daily consistency, and the determination to always act in alignment with one's values. Each day becomes an opportunity to strengthen this path and allow life to reflect the direction you have consciously chosen.